call. Good call. Good.
You're live right now on Facebook.
I should be live on everything now.
All right, good. I see it.
Perfect. Is it looking good for you?
Yeah, the video quality is fine.
Perfect.
I just don't know if the sound is on.
It should be. Here, can you hear this?
Yeah,
Sure
we
can.
Okay.
Oh, and they're good. Yeah, Night Horde and Novacore.
Yeah, I believe Novacore.
Wait, this is Night Horde and Novacore?
Yeah.
Oh, Night Horde's on the right. Okay.
Yep. They got the symbols. Oh man, I hope we don't run into any Chinese symbols because I'm just gonna call them the player. When you get the caster, like, and player 2 is really wrecking them right now.
Night Horde, not Night Whore.
I was about to say I'm gonna elongate that whole and Night Horde. That will be my last Moontoon casting.
G, are you jumping in this one too? Is this a trio casting?
I'm gonna let you guys go with it real quick while I gear up.
Okay, and
Anything
then I guess
jump in it in the center. I don't think we're doing any trio castings in the NACT.
we're not. I don't think so. I mean, you never know.
Maybe for the grand finals, Rex might get to do that with. Well, if they get 2 of them.
Yeah.
There's so many names, and Nyso was saying like he was really kind of hoping to get us to kind of start making our own thing here.
Oh, they probably don't want the guy on the top. Is that what they're talking about? That's the tyrant.
I don't know. Private is always avoiding me. Look at that. Dude's all the way over there.
Always on the other side. You want to make a Wheezy sandwich here?
Oh, he left. For GG's.
Yeah, he's gonna come in here.
Cool. Looks like we're good. Just need Cloak to ready up.
All right. This is alive.
Best out of 3, right?
Best out of 3. We're on Central. First team gets it. All settings are set. 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, go.
All right, going live now too. All right, we are getting into the first game of the day. We do have Night Horde over on the red side versus New Wave. So this will be an interesting game from both sides. It's not New Wave. Night Horde.
It'll be Novacore taking on Night Horde on the red. We're going to be starting off with the ban of Cho here for the side of Novacore. And what do you expect to see from this, Wheezy?
You know, you see that Cho first ban. It's not a common ban, so I feel like that was kind of like a wild card ban, you know, over on their side. So I don't really know what to expect. You know, usually see the Valentina taken out, but we do see Julian getting taken out over on Night Horde's side.
Yeah, interesting enough that what this might tell me is that they might be going maybe more of a damage type jungle Cho. Very good at being able to isolate, get into packs and isolate those single heroes and being able to Way of the Dragon them right back to his teammate there. So maybe they might be going with something a little squishier comp that Cho might be able to shine in. But we do see a pretty typical Valentina ban still making her rounds this far into the next seasons.
There goes that Teresa being banned as well over on the other side. That's more of a kind of expected. Not too heavily banned, but he can definitely be a problem. Definitely with the new patch as well. We still got currently Xavier in the mix. Some other decent mages as well. There goes the Masha ban, though. What a ban. Who do you see being banned for the last pick?
Depending on what you want, maybe a Franco, because that I feel like him and Masha kind of provide the same type of harassment. No, but we do get an Akai taken out of there. Definitely a decent ban, just because of what you would need to kind of set up to deal with in a Kai, and that's not really something you want to do, is to have your entire comp based off of one enemy hero. And there is that Franco pickup by the side of Nighthorde, and as we know, there are a lot of harassment, a lot of offense that he can provide, especially in the enemy jungle.
Ooh, what a pick over on the Franco. We're seeing some strong picks right now. You do got the Xavier as well. We do see that Wan possibly being picked up. These are a lot of valuable picks early on that were just left unbanned.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel like that's where we're at right now with the meta. Just so many strong heroes that can be picked up right now. And it just, I mean, you pick one thing when you get, it's almost like being a curse to be first pick or even second pick. You leave one thing open, the enemy gets 2 strong picks. And then when the enemy gets 2 strong picks, like you said, they're just basically traded. Now they're going to be, you're going to see Nighthorde picking up this Wan after we see Claude picked up on the side of Novacore.
Oh, that Claude is an interesting pick now. You know, he is able to get to those backlines, taking out those tankier heroes. But I don't see too much beefiness over on Nighthorde's side. So I don't know if that was really a necessity. Maybe Nighthorde has an answer for that, not going too defensive, but getting those more high power, high damage heroes to take him out early game. But we'll see. I do see the Claude pick. I didn't expect it, though, as we are going into the second set of bans, that Karina jungler is being taken out as well.
Yeah, I agree. Claude, usually I like to see him against tankier compositions, and maybe a little bit of an assumption by the Novacore to go ahead and pick that up early. We do see the Esmeralda, which always kind of surprises me, especially at this stage of where the XP lane is right now. There are just so many different counters for her right now. I almost kind of wonder why you would ban it rather than just waiting for it to be picked and then counter it. But maybe trying to take something off of the board that they think that she might counter. And we do see a very strong ban in that Belmont, able to macro up so fast, as we've been seeing in some of our other scrims, is how fast he can get farmed up and just become a menace on the map.
Now, there's not too many fighters left. I mean, you do see Esmeralda getting taken out. Terizla is gone as well. We do know Thomas has been a problem. Dairoth's still available as well, but we don't see fighters on either side. So, oh, but there goes the Dairoth over on Nighthorde's side.
Yeah, an interesting pick too, because I mean, you still have the Thamus open. I'm not sure if you're gonna want to go Uranus. I have seen a lot of Uranuses get dumped on by Dairoth, especially in that early game. And this is gonna be an interesting pick. I know why they picked it. They want to try to counter that Wan, and maybe even get a little bit more out of the Dairoth dashes that he does. But I don't like the early farm potential from this Phoveus, just because I feel like you're going to need to support him a lot. You're just basically going to need to babysit him a little bit, because I feel like early game is going to get crushed by Dairoth.
Ooh, what a pick. We do see the Yi Sun-shin as the jungler, and then what is the answer going to be over on Nighthorde's side? Is it a possible fan?
Yeah, very interesting, and I think this does kind of bring a little light to that Cho pick that we noticed before. Is like they are kind of a squishier comp here, and they didn't want that Cho to kind of be able to come in and try to isolate. But taking out Cho does leave open. They don't really have a good counter for the Fanny except for Minotaur. So it's gonna be pretty much on Ash's initiation once she's able to hit level 4 to be able to deal with Vanity on this Fanny.
Now, you know, it's always interesting when you see that Fanny pick. Hopefully Vanity, you know, can get that blue buff and get those early rotations. As we all know, Fanny is a quick jungler, just taking that blue and just going straight for the kills and possibly invading over on the red side. So I do see Nighthorde having more of the invasion team, maybe trying to delay some of the jungle over there on Novacore. But we are going into game 1. 2 amazing teams today. Best out of 3. We got Novacore versus Nighthorde.
Yeah, and I'm really pretty hyped for that, just because now I want to see how these guys are going to deal with Franco. In my eyes, if you're going to leave that open, you're going to let the enemy pick that up, you need to have an answer. And we do see that Sato is going to go ahead and pretty much join Venti up in that gold lane. We've been seeing this a lot more often now, where now that the marksman is going to start getting a little bit more babysit. Hook does land onto Seth, maybe just letting him know they're taken down to almost half health, so maybe a little bit of a scene of things to come.
We do see the 2v1 situation. Franco kind of helping out on top. They want that Wanwan to kind of get a good early start. Wanwan's just one of those marksmen, when left unchecked, even her just getting, her ult on one hero is a potential wipeout for their team.
Yeah, and this actually might be a little trouble as he does land the hook. Does Sato able to get that early first blood onto set? And we do see a little bit of engagement here as Night Horde is in the jungle here. And man, already starting early with the aggression, and no way does get picked off with that flame shot from Liquid Power.
What a kill. We are only 1 minute in and it's already 1-1. Both teams have a kill on each side. Franco connecting with the hook on Ash as well. What placement on these hooks by Sato?
Yeah, obviously not a slouch on that Franco. So this is going to be one of those, when you see that Franco, you sometimes got that little bit of hope that maybe it's just one of those, oh my God, I say that, another hook onto Seth, who's going to be taken dangerously low. Minotaur trying to come in to try to save, and it's not enough, unfortunately, but Sato actually might be in a little bit of trouble. Does pay for that death with a death of his own.
This Franco does not miss. Sato has magnetic hooks. I want to see how this works, going more toward that mid game. But if he's able to land these hooks the way he's doing in the beginning, we are going to see a very interesting game.
Yeah, it's going to be a little hard for Novacore to kind of get their positioning, especially if they are always and constantly worried about Sato landing one of these hooks. You're not going to be able to linger anywhere. You're not really going to be able to hide. You're always going to have to be consistently moving. But we do see that this turtle is being started by the side of Novacore, trying to be countered by Night Horde, and Liquid Power actually taken dangerously low as Tonka is putting on the damage, and Bandit coming in, looking for the finish. Tonka does get it down. We do have a real-world manipulation coming down, putting on some damage, and No Way is going to go ahead and try to distance himself, as that is a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Novacore, and I think probably a positive for them, as they're going to be able to pick up this turtle.
What a play. Oh my goodness, Sato getting the bloody hunt as well. Sato does not miss.
Yeah, he's absolutely ridiculous right now, and unfortunately, like, even with picking up that turtle right there, not too far ahead, only about 500 gold ahead. And I mean, like I said, if you're not continually watching for the Sato, this mid game might be a little bit of a problem as the Night Horde starts creeping back.
Now, we do got to take a look over at Cloak. He does have a good early start. Already has 2 kills in that early half for that clash on the first turtle. So they definitely got to watch out for him, as we know that Dawning Light is only going to get stronger. Being able to get those snipes across the maps are crucial, and able to be able to, have the potential to potentially take, Lords or turtle plays is huge.
Yeah, those Dawning Lights on Xavier just really, like, oh my God, we do have an ult coming up. Venti is in a little bit of trouble as that a Blazing Duet does come out and is taking down Venti. And just as we talked about before, that Dawning Light from Cloak able to finish off Sato.
Man, we are seeing just a clash between Cloak's Dawning Light and then the hook over by Sato. They're both just on point right now. Neither of them are missing. They're both just hitting straight bullseyes tonight.
Yet nowhere is safe on this map right now for either team right now, unfortunately. They are constantly in a fluid motion if they don't want to get caught. And I was about to say, I thought that was another player. Only the gold buff that Sato's able to pick up. And we do see that Mountain Shocker come out, trying to get maybe a little bit of vision on the enemy team, is Sid.
Now, we are in the first 5 minutes of the game, currently 6-5 with Novacore taking the lead in kills, up by a little bit of gold. Not too much for a snowball, though. I think both teams are rotating very well, but this is a high kill game. Only 5 minutes in, it's already 6-5.
Yeah, we do see Liquid Power with a little bit of a little scary of an initiation there. Did have to go ahead and get that demonic force out. Tonka not able to finish up, is probably going to have to disengage from this tower right now. And we do see the turtle being picked up by the Night Horde. I'm not really sure if Novacore is in a position to go ahead and counter this. They are dancing around, but they just don't have the numbers. Cloak tried, but man, that was kind of futile, as Vanity was still there with that retry and able to pick it up.
What a good play over there, by Night Horde, able to secure that turtle. Vanity still going in, trying to get a kill.
We do see that Minoan Fury coming down. Ash does get taken down, unfortunately, with that real world manipulation down here, down at the bottom. Tonka and Liquid Power going at it. It looks like he's going to be joined by Vanity, or no, Vanity does kind of second guess it, is going to go ahead and be turning back a bit. But up at the top, we do have a little bit of a standoff here, as Seth is going to go ahead and try to clean up these and hopefully not get hooked again.
Now, I do want to, look at the bottom side. We did see that Phoveus have a very hard time against Tonka down there, as that first inhibitor turret is completely annihilated within the first 6 minutes of the game. Definitely zoning these objectives. I have to give it over to Night Horde's side.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and that is what happens when you do pit a Phoveus against a Dairoth right now. Maybe this might change as we start getting more into the team fights, but I mean, on his own against the Dairoth, I mean, you're gonna have a little bit of a struggle. But I mean, not too far behind right now is the Novacore, so I have to give it to them for that.
Now, we do see the Phoveus swapping sides with Claude, given that matchup, with Venti, with that 1-1 over there on Night Horde's side, which is what they want.
A nice bet by this Ash, and Tonka might be in trouble. The Demonic Force more than enough to finish him off on that Dairoth. Vanity coming in as the real world manipulation comes down. More Demonic Force trying to connect with Vanity, but it's not able to. Unfortunately, that is going to be 2 unanswered deaths on the side of Night Horde.
Man, and then you currently see Novacore over on the top side in the gold lane. Will they be able to take that turret? We do see Vanity coming in.
Yeah, he does. He is trying to get those cables on there. Tower does go down. Vanity's going to need to try to get out here. A lot of damage going on to the side of Novacore. Is he going to be able to pick these up? We do see the suppression come out. Now, no more Minoan Fury coming out. And I don't think Ash is going to be getting out of this. They do get the tower, but they pay for that with their life. And they is going to be answered here by the Night Horde.
What an answer. First, we see 3 take, over on Novacore, take that first inhibitor turret. But then Night Horde having to answer with their own 3 to get the kills and go ahead and take their first inhibitor turret as well. It is currently 9-9, and in terms of objective, you do see that Claude switching over on that Dairoth. They did not rotate Dairoth's side, and Claude was able to take that inhibitor turret over on the bottom side too.
And that's what I've been seeing, and what I really like about some of these more advanced teams. When the tower, or when the marksman has basically finished his job, we see a lot more rotations of the marksman being this lane. But right now we do have an engagement here at the turtle. Real world manipulation has been cast. We do see the turtle at 10% health, a lot of damage going onto the Night Horde as Sid captures that turtle, and they are giving chase right now. I'm not sure that this is a fight that Vanity wants. Tonka gets caught up by 4 members of the Novacore. Does go down. Vanity does get blocked by Venti, thankfully, because that would have been another death.
Man, this game is neck and neck. Currently 10-10. We did see Sid take that turtle, which makes it even. Both sides have gotten a turtle play. Both sides have gotten the first inhibitor turrets, but that Dawn and Light raining down the mid lane.
Oh my gosh, Cloak able to take down Vanity, and he is a lot more precise with this Xavier than I expected against a Fanny who is just so mobile, and we do see the work being put in against this tower right now. And man, the Novacore is basically enforcing their will right now, and there's not much the Night Horde can do to answer at this point in the game.
Now, we did see them take that first mid lane inhibitor turret. That does give them a stronger presence on the map. So over on Night Horde side, we got to see them play a little bit more defensive as they are more on the pushback right now, but not too far back. This game has been pretty much even in terms of gold. They're not down by too much, only down by 1,000 gold. We do see that Necklace Endurance being built over by the Phoveus to get a little bit of that anti-heal to sustain, especially against that Fanny, putting it on against that Dairoth as well.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting here as we start moving into the late game, when we're going to have to deal with Venti being able to get those weakness stacks for that crossbow of Tang. But right now, I mean, the Night Horde is kind of in an uphill battle, as Novacore is doing just a great job, not just with macro, but winning these objectives as they're rotating here.
Good thing that you brought up the crossbow Tang over there with Venti. We do know that has been a secret weapon. Fanny, or not Fanny, but 1-1, one of the best marksmen in the game. That crossbow Tang, it's a game changer. Just like Franco's hooks, all it takes is one hero getting hit with all those weakness points, and you get the potential wipeout. But we are going into the First Lord. You do see Sid over there with the complete zonage over there by Novacore. they will, looks like they are going to be able to get it as there's not too much of a contest. Sid is able to get the first Lord, continuing to keep that progression on the map as they are trying to close in, get a couple more turrets as we are going into the second half of the game.
Yeah, a good little bit of macro here on the side of Nighthorde. Able to get away there is vanity, but I was gonna say, like, realizing that you're not gonna be able to get the turtle, they went ahead and start pushing a lane, so they are able to pick it up. A vanity does get taken out here. Unfortunately, real world manipulation does come down, but the rest of Novacore is able to escape it, and they are probably gonna go ahead and try to sync up these lanes as the Lord is marching his way through bottom lane.
Man, both sides just fighting their hearts out right now. You got to give respect to Cloak. He is 7-0-2, just dominating over on the side of Novacore. He has the most kills in the game right now. You know, that Dawn and Light is only getting stronger. And let's just speak on the accuracy right now, man. This man has not missed.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing too, and especially now with what he's building to a lot of cooldown. So he's just going to be spamming that Dawning Light throughout this game now. You're just going to see those coming out, especially coverage on the whole map. We are seeing a little bit of the tower at the top is going to go down here as Vanity is going to go try to go on. We see that Dawning Light come in there and a pop-up on Franco. Blazing Duet comes out, but does not connect to anybody. Maybe a little bit more of a zoning tool as the rest of Novacore is going to go ahead and pick up that top inhibitor tower. Down at the bottom, the minions are able to strafe off the offense there, and it looks like the rest of Novacore is going to have to disengage before they get in problems here. We do see Tonka coming in with that Nairoth. A lot of damage going on, and Yusun Shin pays the price. I mean, looked like he was sacrificing himself to get in the way of that cloak, and unfortunately paid the price with his life.
You know, that's what we call high risk, high reward, right? Like that was a very, very aggressive push over by Novacore, but they did, you know, gain some things from it. They were able to take, you know, the top side, all inhibitor turrets are gone. They were able to take another mid lane inhibitor turret as well. But, you know, they had to pay with 4 deaths. We are going into 12 minutes, 14 of 14. They do have a little bit of insurance over on Novacore's side, though, as they got a lot of inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, Demonic Force coming out, but it is not enough to save Liquid Power, and the rest of Nighthorde is able to take down that tower. Unfortunately, when you do stay at the base so long and do take those deaths, you lose the positioning you had. And when Novacore could have backed up, could have gotten a little bit more spacing and hidden in the bushes or cleared out the jungle, instead, you're giving Nighthorde the advantage. Now they're able to push in, now they have a map advantage, and now they have they're able to kind of like creep around the map without Novacore really being able to answer it right now, especially with only 5 seconds.
You do see Tonka building that Radiant armor as well, trying to get a little bit of magic defense, you know, especially against that Xavier, but mostly probably for the Phoveus as well. We are going into 13 minutes in. We have not seen a crossbow tang by the Wanwan yet.
Yeah, I was just about to say, not a single one yet. I'm not sure if it's just because they have still been trying to farm her up, or if it's just the Phoveus has just been setting it down. Unfortunately, Wanwan kind of at 0-3 right now. Does have that Demon Hunter sword and Wind of Nature, but that's it as far as damage items are concerned. So even if she was able to get the crossbow of Tang off, not really too much damage she's going to be able to do. We do land a hook and a suppression down. Entire team engagement here. Dawning Light comes in. That spells the end for Sato. Cloak quickly follows as a Demonic Force up at top, making mincemeat out of the Nighthorde here. Vanity's going to go ahead and have to teleport home, and it looks like we're actually going to return here onto this Lord. A really good engagement there by the side of Novacore.
Man, what a fight. Looks like Novacore is going to get a little bit of zonage on the second Lord. This is Luminous Lord as well, a very high priority target. But will they be able to get it? You see Tonka currently in the bush prepping for a possible gank, but it doesn't look like Nighthorde has an answer for this, as they are able to get the Luminous Lord over on Novacore's side.
Yeah, interesting enough that engagement started with a hook by Sato, but still not able to really capitalize on that is his team. So maybe a little bit of a misstep by his team, not being completely ready for him to land those hooks and the suppression, because that should have been the end for one of the players on the side of Novacore and giving them an advantage. Unfortunately, we saw quite the opposite there, and then Novacore maybe just a little faster and tighter, being able to close ranks around somebody who gets caught.
You know, if I had to look at this match, I'll kind of say it's like Battle of the Mages, right? You got Cloak over there, 7-2-6. Noah GT over there, 4-1-5. We're not really seeing anything too much from the marksmen as they're both very low kills, especially 15 minutes in. This is more of a mage battle.
Yes, it is. Those real world manipulations pretty evident, especially followed by those dawning lights during all of these team fights. And yeah, I agree, just not really much happening from the side of the marksmen as Novacore is pressing into this bottom tower right now. We do see Phobius trying to get ready. He does have that ult lit up with that Fanny kind of zooming in and out, but man, no more inhibitor towers left right now. And this is going to be a rough game for the Night Horde now.
See, if I was Night Horde in this situation, it is time to defend and farm. You know, over there on Novacore, they have a lot of inhibitor turrets. They have a lot of insurance in case they mess up. But I feel like any mess up right now for Night Horde will be deadly.
Yeah, we do see that suppression coming on. Demonic Force starting to come down. Real world manipulation is activated and Liquid is going in, but not really connecting with it. He's taking a lot of damage from that tower, but the rest of Novacore is on the core, and that is the game. Novacore taking this first victory over Night Horde.
What a solid push. I feel like just in that second half, you know, after that Luminous Lord, Novacore just had such a strong presence on Night Horde's side of the map, and they were able to close out the game as well. But like I said, this is definitely a battle of the mages. You look over at Cloak, 7-2-6. You look over at Noah GT, 5-1-5. Nothing really, you know, by the marksmen, you know, Venti over there 0-5-4 versus that Seth 1-4-9. But I gotta give it to Cloak and I gotta give it to Franco. But I have to ask you, who do you think had the bullseye? Was it the Cloak with the Xavier, or was the bullseye more over to Sato with those magnetic hooks?
Well, I feel like the side of Novacore was just in tune more. When Sato did land those hooks, it very rarely landed Night Horde into a positive position. It's just that Novacore was a lot faster. They were a lot faster on their reactions and able to close ranks around that person and kind of turn what could have been a great set by Franco into kind of an upset victory for Novacore in a lot of those team fights. But unfortunately, I do want to talk a little bit about Liquid Power. Even though he did get the silver, a great pickup here for him, especially with that I'm kind of wondering why we picked the Fanny into that as a last pick, because if it weren't for that, I don't think Sato would have been, or Sato, Liquid would have been able to get off the demonic forces that he did, and it really was kind of upsetting the team. He wasn't doing a ton of damage because he was more or less trying to zone out the team with those, as we had Xavier kind of like lighting them up with the dawning light and doing like getting those major kills. But I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with and probably a pivotal role in Novacore's victory.
That's very well said. You know, speaking of Liquid Power, you know, Venti over there as well with the 1-1. It was interesting in the beginning half. You know, they saw Liquid Power versus Tonka with that Phobius and that Dairoth pick. We did see Dairoth, you know, kind of bully him in that lane, take that first inhibitor turret, no problem. But what did we see after that? We saw, you know, we saw Phobius, we saw Liquid Power rotate over to the other side, and they paired him against that Venti, against the 1-1. But Tonka did not rotate to the other side. They just allowed that fight to happen, and I feel like that's why we didn't really see Venti, you know, rev up, get these kills, get the items needed, you know, to pop off that crossbow of Tang. And you know, unfortunately, Novacore kind of capitalized with that rotation and just made Wanwan not very viable for that match.
Yeah, it all comes down to adaptation. If you see your enemy doing that, you have to be able to adjust to that, call that out, and be able to switch those lanes. Because if you just allow them to do that, especially a Phobius against a Wanwan, and not even just early game, we're talking about a mid game Phobius that has the cooldowns, that has that demonic force that can be thrown in quite often. It's gonna be a little bit of trouble for Wanwan, and we saw pretty much Wanwan kind of being held down. Not able to. I don't think we saw, maybe even, did we see one crossbow Tang?
No, not. I don't think we've seen a single one. And then, you know, we did see Blazing Duet, but that didn't really connect either. I felt like on both sides, the marksmen just had a little bit harder of a game. Maybe, you know, going into game two, we might see a little bit of a tighter rotation from the tanks, from the mages to kind of help secure that gold lane. As that's definitely a pivotal role that has to be secured nice and early to be able to get those marksmen to snowball late game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like the team of Night Horde is going to have to tap out. And so another level to that victory of Nova Corps. Beat them not only in mind, but in spirit as well.
Oh Jesus. No, in the middle of all of that, I was trying to see, because I think BTK and them are still trying to get another scrim too, but Team First Blood's whiffing it hard. I think R and Memory are both having troubles. So we do have Alter Ego wants to snag a go. XVA and Night, I guess maybe not even Night Horde if they're whiffing it like that, you know.
It's okay.
Yeah, it was definitely a interesting match. I mean, overall, like they were pretty even. It was like neck and neck for a while. You know, it was a high kill game though. A lot of these scrims that we've been watching recently against these top teams, over in NACT, they weren't really high kill games. You know, it was kind of like that. I watch for you, you watch for me, but we play the objectives and we don't really want to feed too early. But it looks like with those two teams, it was kind of like, hey, when I see you, you know what's gonna happen, and there's just kind of a bloodbath. But that was two good teams on both sides.
Yeah, but it does kind of say something, especially as you start spreading out towards the mid game. Like it does start off a little bit more even than usual, especially with the what Franco can provide. But unfortunately, as you start moving into the mid, as people start getting their items, as rotations start coming in, it comes down to those adjustments. Like I think last night we saw BTK had they picked up Claude. Was it Claude? Yeah, they picked up Claude. And what they did is they immediately tried to get him that Demon Hunter sword. As soon as he got a Demon Hunter sword, they rotated him into the lane with Thamus, and he just chewed him up so quickly.
Wow.
Like it was just so fast. And it seemed like that was their plan the entire time. Was to just as soon as he got that Demon Hunter sword, went right to the lane and just ulted in with that blazing duet. And
did he even take his turret in the gold lane, or did they just rotate him while the gold lane turret was?
He didn't even take the turret. He just immediately rotated there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's what the kind of games and the thought process that has to come into these games, especially if your comp is kind of getting upset or countered. You kind of have to like adjust to it. And man, it's so interesting to see the level that some of these guys play at, and what is on their mind, and how they can to see things like that.
It's interesting that you pick that up, especially, as you see these higher elo teams. Normally, now, especially with this season, when it comes in terms of the marksman picks, they don't pick the marksmen that counter the marksman they're going against. They're picking these marksmen based off of, what's going on the opposite side of the map. Like, what kind of fighters do they have? What kind of tanks do they have? Do we need the Beatrix for the early to late game, or do we need more of a carry, more of a Claude to be able to take out, beefier heroes such as the Thomas, such as the Ballman, such as the Terizla as well?
Well, I feel like a lot of teams try to set that up with certain bans too. Like if you're looking to pick up the Wan, you might see a Clint ban in there, so that you can kind of predict what your enemy is going to have, or even not even predict, just not have to worry about it. I have seen some people try to play into those counters. I think most recently was the Area 77 picking no, it wasn't. It was the Valley last night picking Clint into Zia's Wan. So they do sometimes have it, but like I do agree, a lot of these marksmen are kind of just they're blind to their lane. They don't care. They're just assuming their team's going to have their back. They're going to come in and be able to provide that type of support while they get farmed up. And most of the time, it's usually like both marksmen getting farmed up, and it's whoever can really affect the other team better as you move into that mid and late game.
Definitely, and that's what we want to see, in terms of the draft pick, and that's why last match's draft pick was very interesting. They had that first ban on the Cho. Sometimes they're banning into the comfort picks of their opponents as well. So you never know, and there's just with the recent patches, all the new heroes that are out with what they can do, their capabilities on the map. It's like even if you ban, I feel like sometimes the 10 bans aren't enough. There's just so many viable options.
Yeah, it's almost crazy seeing that how much like 10 bans aren't enough, and then go ahead and try to play rank and you only get 6. So, and you're like, well. We just got a whole mess of OP heroes that that we can choose from. But we do see both teams starting to get ready here. Rebels in Paradise going to be taking on Novacore for this second game. And I was really, really impressed with Novacore, especially with how well their comp worked together and their thinking on the fly for picking up that Phoveus. So, I mean, honestly, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to seeing them in their first match tomorrow. Or is it tomorrow? I don't think their first match is tomorrow, but seeing them this weekend.
Now you see Rebels in Paradise. I believe I've seen this team play before. We have seen Novacore with the last match over against Night Horde. They did rotate very well. It was neck and neck, more toward the early half. They didn't really have the strongest presence. But as we did see after, that 10-minute mark, they kind of capitalized, especially after they got that Luminous Lord. I would say this is a very good team at closing. They know how to close with the Lord. They know how to, get those inhibitor turrets. They know which ones to prioritize, and they know how to end that game.
Yeah, and that's a very good point too. But I think that's when you start separating the good teams from the great. Not just those ones that are good when things are even or when things are going in their hands, but those teams who can essentially maybe come from the bottom, have like a really bad early game, and still be able to kind of like hold it together, do what their jobs are, know what their win conditions are, and kind of push forward into it. And right now, I'm definitely waiting to see how well Novacore can prove if they can hold up with that. I mean, it's not even a bad thing so far. It's almost like saying like it's almost hard to judge BTK because we don't very too often lately we have, but we don't too often see them coming from behind. So I mean, I feel like that's where you really get like the mettle of a team.
And the thing about BTK, after watching a couple of their scrims, I noticed they have a pretty solid formula, but they're not ever really too overly aggressive. Sometimes Zane will sneak in a bush from time to time and pick off like a mage over on the enemy side. But in terms of like overall aggression, in terms of like overall greediness for a play, I feel like they play very safe. It's kind of like, going back to the basic fundamentals, just realizing what is the objective. We all need to be on the same page. That way we can end this game as soon as possible. But we are going into the first game from Rebels in Paradise versus Novacore. This will be a potential best out of 3, and we are going into the first ban phase.
Yeah, I'm wondering what we're going to see here. I'm going to assume that Rebels in Paradise might be a new team for Novacore as well. So we probably might see a few more generic, I don't know if generic's the right word, but typical bans out of the side of Novacore. And yeah, and we're going to go ahead and start out with that. I'm going to call her the always banned Valentina.
That is definitely a generic ban right there. When in doubt, ban Valentina. That is a very solid one. We definitely see that most of the time on the first ban for these 10 ban lobbies. There goes that Faramis, though. So Faramis, I haven't really seen him play too much inside of the 10 ban lobbies, but do you feel like that's a strong ban?
He's all right. He's still a little new to me. I have seen him do very well, but I'm still kind of stuck on the support roams not being as effective as tank roams right now, and I haven't seen too much out of Faramis that would make me kind of want to change that yet. I mean, I would love to be proven wrong. I really do lean towards those tank roamers and how much that they can provide for a team, especially because that kind of opens up the rest of your team to be a little bit more mobile and have a little bit more damage.
We do see that Theresa ban being the second ban over on Rebels in Paradise side. That was a ban in the last game as well with the other two teams over on the Night Horde side. So looks like Theresa's been more of a problem, but a Hanzo ban over there by Novacore. Is this a comfort ban?
I'm wondering if everything is all right from Cherry, or maybe this is like one of those SOSs that maybe somebody needs to check on them. Something can't be right here.
Help!
Yeah, I banned Hanzo. You should have known I was in trouble. But we are waiting on that last back, and we're gonna go ahead and pick up a Wan one here as a ban, and probably one of the stronger bans here, because I mean, you don't really want to be dealing, especially with somebody who is skilled on a Wan one, and yeah.
Super solid picks over on both sides for the ban, except for the Hanzo. I didn't really understand that one, but we are going into the first pick over on Nova Core's side. You know, you do got that Ballman jungle in there. Karina is still available. You have also the Xavier. What's going to be the third one I was going to say? They picked him up. That's definitely a high priority pick. We did see Xavier shine in the last game over on Nova Core's side with Cloak. So that is a weapon that is very valuable for them to have. But how will Rebels in Paradise answer?
Yeah, we do still have that Eve open to be able to throw down that real world manipulation. I would love to see some type of my lips go a little numb there. But I would love to see some type of engagement for and that's been a long time question of mine right now, especially with the current meta, is why we don't really have too many more backline divers. Even Yuzong has kind of fallen out of favor, and we do see Masha being picked up here for the side of Rebels in Paradise alongside Sicilian. Masha, strikingly enough, has probably one of the best win rates right now. I think it's somewhere roaming around like 80 or 90%, just because she is banned so often, and when she is picked up, the amount of aggression and harassment pretty much kind of rivals what Franco can bring to a team.
I'm really glad you brought that up over with that Masha pick. You know, you don't really see it too much. It is a high band hero. So for them to be able to pull out over on Rebels in Paradise, I want to see how the Masha does. You know, everybody says, you know, she's a really good hero. I just want to see it in action. So we are going to be able to see that today. Do we get a possible Kaja pick? Now, swapping over to that Yuzong over by Nova Core, but Ash is not shown yet. And we do get the Beatrix. We do possibly get the Yuzong as well. We know Beatrix shines all the way from early to late game. Yuzong being pretty good over in the XP lane as well, can definitely, you know, use the dragon to drop over on that Sicilian as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how well he can absorb, I mean, I want to say the damage that usually comes out from a lot of these XP laners. And if he is going to be able to join in on these fights and get that Black Dragon form, there might be a little bit of trouble for Primly on this Sicilian. And I was going to add into, like, one of the shining points about Masha is the uncomplication of using her. Even building her is basically like boots and Ancestral Helm, and then copy-paste Ancestral Helm, and that's all she really needs to be a coherent character on here, with the amount of regen she has and just the massive amounts of health pools. But we are gonna see this Karina picked up for Ind on the side of Rebels in Paradise.
Now, we don't see a jungler over on the side of Nova Core. There goes the Ballman ban, taking out, you know, that strong jungle with that lethal counter, with that retribution to be able to get those objectives. We do see a Fanny ban, you know, as well. They were able to fight off the Fanny in the previous game, but maybe they just felt like not dealing with it in this one. Now, I don't know about the Yuzong. You know, the Yuzong pick, I feel like, you know, they do have the Sicilian, but is it the most viable pick? Was it too early of a show for the XP lane? We shall see.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about before, is that we don't see Yuzong too often anymore. Back when you used to be able to dive into the back line and do heaps of damage to the squishier mages and marksmen, but sadly he's kind of fallen out of favor just because of the matchups he gets in XP lane. You're not going to be able to join team fights if you're constantly having to push your lane because you're getting bullied out of it by a Thamus, by a Dyroth, by an Esmeralda.
That's a very good point on that. I really want to see what Rebels in Paradise has to answer for that Yuzong side of that XP lane. But, you know, he kind of put himself out there, giving them a lot of options, as you do got that, you know, as you stated, that Teresa out there, that Thomas is, oh, Teresa actually is banned. You do have that Thomas pick. We do see Atlas being banned for the final ban for today's scrim for these two teams. So it looks like maybe a possible marksman will be picked over on the side of Rebels in Paradise.
Yeah, I don't Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of Popol and Koopa. I feel like it does bring a little bit of tankiness to it. Looks like they are kind of juggling around different things here. I was about to say, every single time I say something like that, they're gonna go ahead and dance around it. It does look like they are gonna pick up that Brody. I do like this pick as it moves on into the late game. We were talking a little bit about how Beatrix kind of is pretty strong throughout the game. Brody does take a little bit to kind of come online, but when he does come online toward the late game, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Speaking of a force to be reckoned with, we do see the Akai being picked up as a possible tank with Nova Cherry getting the last pick. Will we see the Lancelot today? I had to ask the question. Do you think for the draft, Rebels in Paradise, they picked the Brody, into that Beatrix? I feel like they are kind of beefy though, so the Brody might work with that Akai. But how do you feel about if they would have picked Clint in this situation?
Either way, right now, I'm looking for some type of line in front of the side of Rebels in Paradise. They need some type of front line. Masha's not going to be enough to be able to hold them in front while Sicilian and Brody do enough damage. So we're going to need something to kind of offset that, especially with the engagements you're going to have with a Kai in there, with a dragon, or with a Yuzong there being able to come in and pretty much right through everybody with that black dragon form. And then of course you're still going to have that damage, that global damage from the Xavier. So I mean, we're definitely going to be, I'm definitely interested to see what Rebels in Paradise have in store for Rome. And, I mean, if we're gonna talk tanky, you're gonna have to mention Grok in that sentence. So I do like this pickup by them, especially since the only magic damage is that Xavier. So it does give Grok a little bit of wiggle room in the early game. He's not gonna have to right away pick up some magic defense because Xavier does take a little bit of time to kind of get adjusted, and Grok is going to be able to pass through a lot of that CC.
I did like the Grok pick too. I was going to suggest him, having that Grok against that Akai, being able to use that wild charge to kind of cancel the heavy spin might be a crucial play to help, Rebels in Paradise win this game. But we are going into the first game of the day, the first scrim of the day between these two top teams in NA. So I'm very excited to see what potential they bring to the table going forward.
Yeah,
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
32 teams in North America did have to fight their way through 2 days of matches against other teams up here in NA. So definitely going to be a very closely called match here. We do see Cayman just throwing in a little bit of harassment there, letting the rest of Novikor kind of know that he's there.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. We did see Novikor, especially in the last game, they were a little bit of an aggressive team, not too worried about fighting in these early engages. It was a high kill game on the last one too, but we haven't seen Rebels in Paradise, so we don't really know how they rotate as a team. We will be watching out for that. They do have that Karina. They do have that Grok for a little bit of insurance over with that Yuzong over in the XP lane.
And it does look like Cloak was actually able to steal away that Lethal Wanderer from Rebels in Paradise. So that might slow down the farm just a little bit for Ind on this Karina, as he definitely is going to need to get most of his jungle before he's able to rotate with that level 4.
If I had to give Rebels in Paradise any advice going into this match, is to watch out for Cloak. That man is a sniper.
Yeah, never underestimate, never assume that he might miss. Always assume that he is there, and if he's within range, he's gonna be hitting you with damage. So you're always gonna have to keep that in the back of your mind. We do see some rotations here. Looks like Cherry is gonna go ahead and pick up this gold minion here. Dietrich trying his best to kind of offset that, but we have 20 seconds left on the turtle, and it looks like both teams kind of starting to move into position.
Now, I do like the Paquito pick as a jungler, with the recent patch getting a little bit more damage as well, but he is currently getting cut off.
Yeah, we do see a pop-up onto Rebels in Paradise. They are looking to disengage. Cayman is coming in. Cherry in trouble, does get taken down. Liquid Power kind of powerless to be able to kind of offset that. We see Cayman kind of moving into this bush now, is taking a bunch of damage from Ash. It doesn't look like it's enough as Primley's trying to come in with that Bats Feast. Cloak really not able to do it. Ash actually might be in trouble. Does go down to Cayman. And man, a great start by the side of Rebels in Paradise.
And this might be a potential match where we see why Masha has such a high ban rate.
Yeah, exactly. Just the amount of damage she was able to output, what she was able to regain while she was in that fight over at the turtle. And it doesn't even look like Rebels of Paradise are bothered about getting this turtle right now.
You know, I like the idea of potentially delaying the farm over on Novacore's side, as they are going to go for that red buff with no contest, as you see Paquito over on the top side, possibly prepping for a gank over on the Brody.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brody looks like he's going to be able to get back into base there. But a good position is Rebels of Paradise, as they are going to go ahead and come down onto Liquid Power, who does go down. And unfortunately, man, taken down quite quickly. And they're going to go ahead and put a lot of damage to get this gold off of this tower and start on the turtle. So a great macro by the side of Rebels in Paradise.
Speaking of macro, you look on the top side, looks like they had the same kind of plan, but I feel like it shined more over on Rebels in Paradise, as they were able to get a turret and they're able to get the first turtle in the game as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that comes because of those kills at the first turtle engagement. You had half of the side of Novacore coming back from base, kind of rotating to top a little late, as Ind was able to go ahead and pick up and clean out the rest of the jungle before getting together for that pick onto the bottom lane.
Oh my goodness, Cloak hitting that Dining Light over on that Brody, forcing him to recall. He does not miss. And that damage, like we've seen in the last game, only gets stronger. So we are going to be watching out for him. But speaking of damage, looking at Cameron rotating in the map with that Masha, we really want to see how much this is going to shine inside of this game, as we have not really seen Masha in too many games with the high ban rate.
Yeah, and it is going to be interesting. We do. She has already been having an effect, the Masha, played by this Cayman. So, I mean, we have a 60 seconds a little bit on this turtle. We're seeing a little bit of an engagement here. It's going to come down to how fast these teams are rotating and paying attention. Oh, we do see a little bit of a pickup. Liquid Power, unfortunately, checking the wrong bush down here. Cherry is coming down, followed closely by Ash. We're going to have a little bit of an engagement here. It is a 2v4. This is not a fight that Cherry wants. Ash does activate that heavy spin. Cloak coming in with some damage, but it is not enough to distract them, and Cherry gets picked off at the bottom here.
It looks like Rebels in Paradise, they're just having no problem in this early game. They're kind of getting everything that they want right now. You know, 0 to 5, they have taken no deaths. They've also taken the bottom first inhibitor turret over in the XP lane. They've secured the first turtle. You see Karina rotating down and able to get 2 red buffs from Nova over there on Nova Core as well, Nova Cherry. So I would say early game, it is leaning more toward Rebels in Paradise right now.
Yeah, and sadly, when it comes down to these rotations and these engagements, we do see like Liquid making a little bit, not having the or maybe a little too much confidence, I would say, checking bushes that he shouldn't, especially when you're this far behind. When Karina and the rest, Dietrich, are kind of roaming around. We do see a little bit of a heavy spin go on to Cayman, who's trying to run away, does activate that conceal to be able to get away. Very nice play by them. Cherry actually might be in a little bit of trouble, is able to get out. We see that Black Dragon form activated. Misery might be in a little bit of trouble, does get picked up by Liquid Power, but he might be a little far out for his team. Is he going to be able to get away? He is not in very quickly able to pick up that kill.
You know, we brought this up during the draft pick. Liquid Power locking in that Yuzong a little early, especially in the first phase of the draft. You know, we were wondering what they were going to answer with, and we did see the Grok kind of fighting him inside of the bottom side. Unfortunately, he did get that choke in the lane, and they were able to take the first inhibitor turret. So I really want to see, you know, this Yuzong come online coming into the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and woefully that is not the case right now. The Yuzong is having a heck of a time. A lot of pressure being put into that bottom lane, really making it kind of unsafe for Liquid Power on that Yuzong to be able to kind of like roam freely and pick up the what he needs. We do have a concealed play coming in here onto Primley, who does get hit up. We do see a heavy spin coming out, but not the right angle by Ash, and it's kind of going to go wide there. A little bit of a waste there as we are having the minions kind of being cut here for the side of Novacore.
Now, when we look over at Sicilian, you know, he does have that Clock of Destiny. He has the Mana Boots built. He also went the Dominus Ice route to kind of counter the Yuzong when he does go in on him as well. Just kind of, you know, future prepping for the way this match goes.
Oh, what a pickup. That Dawning Light is able to pick up Misery, but right now we are kind of on our back foot. Sid might be in trouble. Does get picked off by Ind. Unfortunately, we see the Bats Feast activated here, but it does take down Xavier, and following quickly up with Ash. What, man, Ind is an absolute maniac right now.
Ind is having a perfect game for Karina right now. You know, if you look at her stats, 6-0-2, not having really too much of an issue. You know, that's where Karina shines. We've seen a lot more teams play the Karina with the Mage Emblem going for the damage. I kind of feel like you don't really see the tank Karina anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like tank meta is kind of starting to fade out a bit. As long as you're able to protect that jungler with these tankier heroes, I mean, there's no reason not to right now, especially that Karina with a lot of damage. We do see coming in here, Black Dragon activated, Dawning Light already pressed with this heavy spin. Is it going to be enough? Oh my god, definitely not enough to take down. And Ash in a little bit of trouble is going to be able to force his way back out of that tower. But down here at the bottom, we see Cayman coming in against Cherry. Sid trying to provide a little bit of suppressive fire as they're going to go ahead and pick up this orange buff. I was like colorblind there for a second.
We do see the mid inhibitor turret being pushed over by Rebels in Paradise. They are able to take it. First Lord is currently spawned in as well, and we might be seeing a snowball. It's 2-11, not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, 5k gold lead for the side of Rebels in Paradise. And they are basically having their way with these pushes right now. Karina has already started up on that Lord, and they have effectively zoned out the rest of Novacore here right now. Completely opposite game from what we've seen. But very wisely, we do see that the bottom tower is being picked up by Nova here, or by Cherry.
and those are the kind of plays they're gonna have to do. You know, they're gonna have to value, you know, what choice do we make here? We see Lords being pushed in, but there is a free turret over on the opposite side in the XP lane, and I think that was a very good push over by Cherry. Like we said, it is 2-11 with about a 6,000 gold lead, leaning toward the side of Rebels in Paradise. So I kind of feel like going into the second half, we're gonna see Novacore more on the defensive side.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem for them right now. I don't think this is what we were just talking about before there. I think they're having a lot of problems. I've seen a lot of mistakes from them with how they're rotating and where they're going, not really kind of keeping in with whether their team is ready when they do engage on something, instead of being a little bit more passive than they need to, especially when the enemy is basically controlling their jungle.
You see, over on Cloak with this match, he does have one kill, but oh my goodness!
Yeah, we do see a heavy spin coming out there from that concealed play, trying to kind of like disengage all the rest of Rebels in Paradise. Does a good job of it, but they do lose that mid tower, and we are down to only the inhibitors on the side of Novacore.
Oh, and then speaking about Rebels in Paradise, you know, they do have a lot of insurance. They have pretty much all their inhibitor turrets minus the one they lost inside of the XP lane. So they can afford to mess up right now. I feel like Novacore, they're in that position where they just got to defend and farm. Don't push out too much. Don't overextend. As we are going into the 10-minute mark, you know, they need to get as much gold as they can, but they can't afford these 5v5 clashes right now.
No, Cherry, as we say that, Cherry does the opposite, does kind of get caught checking a bush in there and gets cleaned up. And now it is 2-12, and Novacore has lost their jungler.
I like the macro over by Rebels in Paradise right now. If you currently look with the map, all turrets have been pushed in by Novacore, and they can't really come out. But Rebels in Paradise keeping that pressure inside of their jungle, not allowing them to get the farm, but also at the same time trying to freeze those lanes and not giving them any gold, no wiggle room for them right now.
Yeah, and this is how you're supposed to play it when the enemy is turtling. Sadly, there's not much that Novacore can do unless they want to force a fight. And we've seen what results when you do force a fight, especially when the rest of the team is not ready. And I feel like we're gonna be waiting. Oh no! Okay, it is just the Akai here. I just don't. I mean, if the entire team was ready, I feel like they could have burst down that Akai. We do see that this purple buff is coming up here. Trick is going to go ahead and wall that off. We're still going to have a little bit of engage here. Neither jungle really here in position. It looks like we're going to go ahead and kind of pull this out.
I kind of like what we're seeing right now in terms of Rebels in Paradise, but Akai trying to go in to get a little bit of zonage.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it's kind of a dance right here, and unfortunately, this is going to be picked up by the side of Rebels in Paradise. Novacore not going to be able to collapse on there, as we do see a heavy spin come out, but that means that Rebels in Paradise know that he does not have that disengagement tool. As you see them getting a little bit more forceful here, Wild Charge comes in, Ash does go down there, and it looks like this was just a perfect opportunity because now they have enough space and a 5v4 to be able to take this next Lord.
What an eye over on Rebels in Paradise. I feel like everybody came online. They paid attention to when Akai used that heavy spin, knew he didn't have it, and everybody just reined in to take him out. Masha currently getting the zone over there, blocking off Novacore from being able to take this Luminous Lord, and they are able to secure it.
Yeah, just a great and crisp rotations on the side of Rebels in Paradise. They have their win conditions, and I mean mainly their map presence, knowing when the Lord is about to come up, seeing that Ash did go ahead and use up that heavy spin, and then use that as an engagement. This is, I mean, just an excellently played game by them, and unfortunately, I feel like Novacore is just having a bit of a struggle here playing from behind.
You do see that Karina going with the... Whoa! Dawn of Light raining as well.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of an immobilize coming on there, unfortunately. Paquito is in the back, looking to... yeah, he's going to have to go back home here, as we do have a Luminous Lord crashing up here and up on top. He did, I believe, was trying to clear out so that all the lanes weren't synced up, but the tower is going to go ahead and charge, or the Lord is going to go ahead and charge onto the tower. He is starting to make his way towards the core. The rest of Novacore doing their best to be able to fight this off. I think they're going to be able to live another day, at least right now. We do see more minions coming up here from the top. Maybe a little bit of a bad decision. Rebels in Paradise didn't really sync up the lanes too well. Conceal play does come in. Cayman comes in deep as he is trying to zone out the rest of the team so that they can go ahead and pick up this tower, but we do see that Kremlin goes down. Ash is deep into the enemy lines, taking a whole mess of damage. We see that Torn Apart Memories isn't able to take down Ash and the rest of the team of Rebels in Paradise, putting the boots onto this tower. Is able to take down Cherry. Liquid Fire looks like he's going to follow. Unfortunately, Sid trying to run for his life. It doesn't look like Sid and Cloak are going to be able to do too much. They do have the damage on their side, but in comes Cayman. Dawning Light is able to help finish them down, and man, they are fighting for their life, and they're doing a good job here. We do see that ultimate by Sid, able to take down most of the minions, coming in with that damage, and down goes Misery. We have lost all of our inhibitors, but a pickoff by Cloak with that Dawning Light. So, I mean, I don't know. As pretty as that was for Novacore, I don't feel like this really wasn't in the calculations of Rebels in Paradise.
We just got to give it to Cloak. He had some good placement on those skills. If Cloak wasn't there, he wouldn't have been able to stun that Brody, and he would have annihilated that tower. But that does give him a little bit more time in the game to prepare on the defensive side going into 15 minutes. We did see that Karina build a full mage build as well. She does have full items. In terms of gold, they are up by 6,000 gold as well, up by 10 kills, and they still have inhibitor turrets on their side as Novacore is kind of hanging on by a thread. They're going to have a very tight rotation and a game plan, as we are seeing Luminous Lord spawning in 5 seconds.
Yeah, they have closed down this lead to about 7K, but we do see a little bit of engagement here by the side of Rebels in Paradise. Novacore trying to disengage here. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it as Sid is picked off, and we do see that Akai, unfortunately, is in the back line. He might get picked off. He does get found by In. This might be a problem for him. He's trying to get away. I don't believe he still has that heavy spin. He is going to be taken down here, and that is only 2 people left to defend. And when it's only Yuzong and Paquito, this might spell doom for the side of Novacore, and they are taken down quickly, followed by this score.
What a game by Rebels in Paradise. We never seen them play before, but they put on a show. We did see Karina kind of heat off over there with End, 10-1-6 with the MVP. We did see Cloak as a secret weapon in the previous game, but I feel like he just had a harder time as his team wasn't really able to come online against Rebels in Paradise. Cecilian raining with that damage, 5-1-9 as well. I say this is a best out of 3, but the show does go to Rebels in Paradise for game 1.
Yeah, honestly, this Karina, the end on this Karina, 10-1-6 this game. An absolutely amazing job by him. Part of 76. Basically most of the fights for his team. He was there, always a part of it, always initiating. Cloak also there, decent amount of damage coming from him, but like you said, not able to really capitalize in this comp. I feel like maybe a little offset by that early harassment on the side of Rebels in Paradise, pushing into Novacore's jungle. Once they first were able to get the kills at the turtle, they macroed up so fast. They were in the jungle, clearing it, making sure that they were denying that farm to the Novacore, so that every single fight that was happening was going into their favor. And then unfortunately we did see Liquid maybe got a little too eager, kind of checking his bushes, not really realizing how far behind that they were, and that just kind of added to it. So it was a nice snowball effect. Very tight shot group by the side of Rebels in Paradise, because once they had the lead there, they did not let it go. We did see maybe a little bit of a hiccup in that second to last fight, but I feel like that was basically part of their calculations. The only thing that they really wanted was all of those inhibitors gone. They got that and thought maybe we might try a little bit on the core. Did get 3 or 4 players taken out, but able to come right back and push in for the win.
Now, we do say half of the battle is in the draft pick, and even inside of drafting, I did think Rebels in Paradise had the stronger draft. I didn't really agree with the Yuzong as the 3rd pick. He wasn't really able to come online inside of that match as well. And we also did see a Hanzo ban with the first phase as well, where I felt like it was a little bit more viable if they would have banned the Karina instead of a Hanzo. But maybe we'll see going into this game. First pick is going to go on the side of Rebels in Paradise now.
Was there really a Hanzo ban?
Yeah, it was a Hanzo ban.
No. Oh my god.
That's usually a good sign if I'm in ranked and I see that out there.
You're like, oh my gosh, we won!
Yeah, we got this, boys. Something's wrong on the other team, and if something ain't wrong, somebody's talking trash right now.
And then you got somebody on your team that's like, oh my gosh, if we lose this, I'm not playing again.
We do see the ban pickup, the ban pickup, the Julian ban here for the side of Rebels in Paradise, and answering with that is going to be a Masha ban for Novacore. Definitely a force to be reckoned with in that last game.
Now, you did say Masha had one of the highest ban rates, and we seen why in the previous game. So you got to respect what the capability of Masha can do, especially roaming, as that gave them a very hard time on the side of Novacore. We do see the 1-1 being picked off as well in the first phase of the ban.
Yeah, definitely trying to take out that the probably one of the best marksmen here. I am curious to see what we're going to go with on the side of Novacore. We have some good bans here, a little bit of an answer to the side of Rebels in Paradise here, and definitely trying to take off that Xavier. But it does still leave open some of those strong picks that we were just talking about, especially with the Karina. We have seen Karina went from so strong as a tank build to not seeing her at all once Akai started coming back online and Balman coming back online, and now we're back to Karina becoming one of those prime picks again. So I've been seeing it so often now. We do see an interesting that's Farama's ban as well on the side of Rebels in Paradise.
Now, we've seen that in the last game, too. I don't know what Faramis did to Rebels in Paradise, but it couldn't have been good, as we've seen him ban him twice. I don't really see him pick too much. We do see the Valentina banned over on the side of Novacore. Looks like they don't want to go for the Hanzo anymore. Maybe not too worried about it, but maybe we see a possible Hanzo pick on the side of Rebels in Paradise.
Yeah, I definitely wonder why they did pick that up. And I was going to say, whatever Faramis did to you guys, he's sorry. Rebels in Paradise obviously have an issue with that character, maybe because of what he brings, especially with that new cult altar to be able to like elongate a lot of these team fights. Basically like a walking immortality. But we are waiting to see what the first pick from Rebels in Paradise is going to be here. And we do see Sicilian picked up, so really interesting pickup. Again, Grimly definitely favoring that as well. But Terizla and an immediate, both of them, both an immediate Terizla and Linux pickup.
Okay, so when I see these draft picks, I kind of feel like the team should wait it out. Use the time that you have inside of the draft to kind of talk it through and formulate a strategy. When you see those first, initial fast picks, you have like 40 seconds, 50 seconds to kind of talk about what you're going to play with. You do see that Teresa picked up over on that Sicilian, that kind of does work in Rebels in Paradise's favor, as that's what he's meant to do. He's meant to take out those beefier heroes. But Lunox has been seen a lot more, especially going into the new season, having that magic damage, being able to use, her magic power or Order of Chaos to be able to deal additional damage to those beefier heroes as well. We also see a carry with the Sicilian, very late game damage over on the side of Rebels in Paradise with the Cho as well.
So this is going to be definitely a very late game comp by the side of Rebels in Paradise. And I do agree with you. You have enough time. It kind of felt like regardless of what Rebels in Paradise pick, Terizla and Linux were going to be getting picked up. And as much as I agree with the Terizla, Linux I feel like is a counter. She is something you want to pick against those really beefy, maybe like in a Uranus, in a Kai pick. I mean, if they don't pick those beefier heroes, I mean, you're kind of wasting that pick there.
I kind of feel like Novacore right now, they played into the hands of Rebels in Paradise here, because they picked the Ballman, they picked the Teresa. We know these are going to be the beefier heroes, and that kind of worked in their favor. Having that carry and having that Sicilian, they're not going to have any issue with that. And speaking about the Lunox, how you did state, if they don't have those beefier heroes, she kind of doesn't really have the strongest purpose to be on their team. So I really want to see going into the second phase of the draft, what Novacore is going to pick for the last two.
Yeah, I do like the Balmon pick. He does provide so much enforcement with how fast he can clear jungle, how fast he can take objectives. Once you start hitting that mid game, you can start clearing the enemy's jungle, and you basically cannot be stopped from stealing their buffs, because he does about, I want to say, upwards of 6k damage with the combination of that lethal counter and retribution. And I don't really know too many players who are going to be able to match him with that. So I do like this, and especially with its early game potential, because like I said, we are going to be waiting for this carry and the Sicilian to come online. And of course, we do see that Karina ban. Smart choice on the side of Novacore here.
Yeah, Karina, definitely one of those high-valued bands. Definitely got to take her out. We haven't seen a Thomas been picked. It is available. We know Thomas can kind of give that Teresa a hard time, especially that Ballman, but they do have that Lunox to kind of, negate what he can do. We are going into the last ban over by the side of Rebels in Paradise. They have to possibly ban out a marksman and a tank.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have on that side. It's gonna be interesting too because I mean we did take out Atlas, so we are looking to take out a lot of those potential sets. So I mean, what I was just about to say, are we gonna be looking for a Lolita here? Because that's another person, very high value when it comes to sets as a roamer. So I'm definitely gonna be interested to see what they have. Are they gonna be even looking for somebody? And yeah, Minotaur. We were talking about this before we even started the stream about seeing a Minotaur. We've seen.
They
Okay,
did it.
so, yeah, so I guess this is the reason for the Hanzo ban.
Oh no! Whoa! We're gonna see a Hanzo pick. This is crazy. So it looks like over on the side of Novacore, a little bit of homework was done. That was a comfort ban in the first game. So are we gonna see a potential secret weapon over on the side of Rebels in Paradise?
Yeah, that's. We'll see. It depends on what this last pick. We are going to be looking for a marksman here, but I mean, now that I think about it, I mean, Belmont, I still feel like it can definitely kind of close the distance in there to get to Hanzo. I mean, Dietrich is apparently a great Hanzo, and when I say great, I mean he's gonna have to be brilliant to be able to make a Hanzo work. I just feel like he is such a sitting duck, almost on the same lines as Eve and Farja when they ult and they kind of leave themselves open. I feel like that can be kind of the same thing with Hanzo as well, especially with players at a level that have such an awareness of their surroundings and the map and where he's actually coming from.
I do like the Claude pick, as the final pick over on the side of Nova Core. I was thinking maybe Claude would have been banned, but he did walk. He's been very good at getting on that back line, taking out those beefier heroes, such as that Esmeralda for End over on Rebels in Paradise. So we are going into the second game. This is a best out of 3. The first game did go to Rebels in Paradise, though. So we will be going into game 2 and seeing what both of these two teams bring to the table.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, a Claude I really do like here, especially,
Welcome
well, he does
to
have
Mobile
Purify, so he doesn't
Legends.
even have Flicker here, which is an interesting choice for me, because I was going to say he
5
does have,
seconds till the enemy
he
reaches
does
the
have a little
battlefield.
teleportation, he
Smash
does
them.
along with Flicker, but he doesn't,
All
so
troops
he's just
deployed.
going to have that Purify, so I'm kind of questioning if he will be able to kind of reach into that back line and maybe be able to counter Dietrich.
They do got that Minotaur over on the side of Rebels in Paradise as well. So I want to see, or actually, no, on the side of Nova Core, they do got the Minotaur. So I want to see what he brings to the show. We do see Teresa kind of fighting on the top lane with the Esmeralda, the matchup on the bottom with the Claude versus the carry in the mid lane. But I think we all want to see what the secret weapon with Dietrich running the Hanzo is going to be.
Yeah, that is going to be an interesting choice. What I do like, I'm going to have to give it to Novacore. I do like their comp. I do like the potential for these sets from Ashe on that Minotaur, and then going into perhaps a penalty zone, going into the spin, and then the lethal counter by Sid, and then the blazing duet by Seth. So there is a lot of AoE damage potential on the side of Novacore, on the side of Novacore here.
We do see Cho going in, trying to take out that Teresa.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's only level 2, so really not much coming up there. They do see a lethal counter, goes wide. God mode actually might be in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try to disengage here. Hanzo is kind of locked in, but not able to finish the job. His shadow is going to be able to, does get taken down here as Canon and Primley are going to go ahead and disengage. Dietrich actually might be in a little bit of trouble here. Is getting latched on by Sid, but they are not in a position right now to be able to finish this off. But the rest of Rebels in Paradise are going to go ahead and have to disengage.
I do like the rotation. I think we got a little bit of a hot mic by Manny. Over on VC. But I do like the rotation over by that Lunox and the Minotaur. They did see Dietrich using, stuck in that bush, kind of stunned, wasting all that energy. And they did try and go in, unfortunately not able to get there in time. But we do see the first turtle being taken by the side of Novacore.
Yeah, and as it is taken, we are starting to see a little bit of for Novacore. Not too much, but they are doing, I feel like, a little better. Not too much aggression being forced by Rebels in Paradise, and they are, I want to say, quicker to kind of clamor around to make sure and cover their jungler while he is jungling. We do see that Pinnacle Ninja coming out by Dietrich here, not really able to find the target, just kind of swimming around, and looks like that's going to kind of be a small little bit of a waste as he does go back to his purple buff.
Yeah, this one might be a slower game. You know, I feel like the Hanzo's a wild card, so we don't really know what to expect from it. So we're kind of gauging it off of, you know, Daetrix's rotations. We do see Carrie. We know she has a little bit of a late start. Same with Claude, but once he gets that Demon Hunter sword, it's more than enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I do feel like Claude probably has a little bit of an easier time with what the items that he needs. I feel like there's more items needed on Carrie to be able to make her so useful in these fights, and Claude might not actually need much more than, like you said, that Demon Hunter sword. I wonder if we are going to be seeing some rotations by. We do see that Kanan does get a little bit caught up here. Is going to flicker away. He does have a lot of damage, does get popped up, and lethal counter is able to clean him up very decisively.
What a play over there by Sid, getting first blood. We are 3 minutes in. Only 1 kill has been across the board. So it is more of a relaxed game. Not too much aggression going on either side. But we do see potentially Novacore taking these objectives, having that bombing with that lethal counter and that retribution. Might be a little too hard for the Hanzo to deal with.
Yeah, I was about to say, Hanzo not really having a huge effect right now. What we saw last game was a lot of aggression, a lot of stealing his enemy's farm. We do see the Bats, he's coming down by Privilege. Kanan is coming in here with those Sanguine Claws. Sid is still able to pick up that turtle, and this might be a little bit of trouble for Rebels in Paradise. A lot of damage coming out with that that spinning light, or that speedy light wheel by Misery, and is able to pick off Seth.
We do see Cloak building that Clock of Destiny, getting a little bit more damage as well as sustainability. This fight is, like I said, it's not too aggressive. 4 minutes in, but we did see Carrie get a kill, giving her a slight advantage inside of the gold lane.
Yeah, able to activate that speedy light wheel. It is going to put her a little bit ahead, and that is not something you want to be as a Claude, to have a carry ahead of you right now. Like I said, he does kind of, I feel like he does come off a little quicker than Carrie does with getting his power spikes. We do see Dietrich is able to take down Gina God Mode up here at the top. Dietrich is trying to disengage. Unfortunately, Sid is not going to be able to follow that up.
And there we go.
Man. Yeah, gets slammed down at the bottom, and it looks like we're going to be able to take this tower and pick it up for the side of Novacore.
Just when we gave Misery the props.
Yeah. We
do
see a little bit of an engagement up at top, Cho. A 3-man of Rebels in Paradise onto this Sid. Is it going to be enough to take him down? Oh, but not enough damage. Flicker by Cayman. Sid is on the chase, but is he going to be able to do it through this Jiku? No, he comes in. A lot of damage. Way of the Dragon comes down, but Cayman pays for that with his life. Maybe a little bit of a miscalculation. We do see Pinnacle Ninja coming out here. Dietrich is here to try to join up this fight. Really not much that he can do, unfortunately. Misery does get caught out, is going to be taken down. And man, oh, what a different game than from the first. And honestly, I'm not seeing too much value in this Hanzo right now.
No, we do see gold lane currently being pushed in. Losing that first inhibitor turret is huge. You also got the Fallen Star Moon over on the Teresa on the top side, getting a little bit of zonage as a clash is possibly coming inside of the mid lane while both teams are fighting over that blue buff. But Sid is able to take the blue buff as well, giving them even more of an advantage. You know, that's the scary thing with the Hanzo pick, is it kind of gives Novacore a little bit of a boost in terms of a potential snowball.
Yeah, and if he cannot get farmed, I feel like Hanzo only does really well. You see that Pinnacle Ninja coming out as the rest of Novacore is onto this turtle. Not sure if it's going to have a great effect. We do have Cayman hiding up in this bush. Primly in the back. Sid does activate that spin. Is going to be trying to get on here. We do see Way of the Dragon does get locked onto Lunox, who is going to be able to brilliance away. But we do see a nice pop-up and set by Ash here, and is able to take down Primly and Cayman.
You know, that's with that Lunox pick. Oh my goodness, the clash is not done. Ballman trying to take out Daetrix. Oh wait, that's not even the real Daetrix though. The Hanzo going in trying to get a kill, but unable to connect, and they are able to take that next turtle objective as well. We are seeing a little bit of a lead inside of the gold. It is 23K to 18K right now, currently up by about 5,000 gold, leading in the favor of Novacore.
And this is the problem I'm seeing here. Oh, we do still have engagement up top. We do see Teresa in a little bit of trouble. The way of the Dragon's out on him with Pinnacle Ninja, and Bats Feast is enough to take down Gina. And as I was saying, like, I feel like the Hanzo pick only really shines when you have an aggressive team, with Hanzo being able to take those buffs so quickly. Only if you're able to invade the jungle. When you're from behind, he's kind of the same way as a Hilda. There's really not much that he can do here. And we do see that buff does get picked up by Belmont again. Another great set as Cayman looks to be in a little bit of trouble. Way of the Dragon is not enough to save him as he does get taken out by that Lunox.
Man, speaking about Lunox, we have seen her used a lot more in this season, and Cloak is just in the right place at the right time right now. Currently 4-1-2, leading in terms of kills.
Oh, that top Misery got caught passing the wrong bush, didn't clear his corners, and got taken out by Cloak, just as you were singing the praises as well. Cloak doing a great job, and just a great and pretty much been a quality pick all of this season so far.
You know, I'm a big fan of Lunox currently. She works in the early game. Not like, you know, Sicilian, he takes a little bit of time. He needs to get his stacks in order to be very viable. But, you know, just having, you know, brilliance and also being able to put some damage on with the Order of Chaos, it gets the job done and a lot faster than the Sicilian, especially in the early game.
Yeah, we are seeing this Lord game taken down very quickly by the side of Novacore. Didn't even really need to zone that out, as it seems like the rest of Rebels in Paradise kind of caught out of position, especially kind of on their back foot, not really able to create any type of counter there. We do see Pinnacle Ninja coming out here. His only target really is Gina, but I'm not sure if that's really the target you want. So tanky. We see the rest of the team trying to come in here. Cloak does get taken down. A nice pick off and Way of the Dragon by Cayman to bring him in within Tower's range and then take him out.
You do see Lord currently pushing in on the top side. I feel like over on Novacore side, they're not really waiting for the Lord. They're just starting to clash. Lord will come, you know, through the turret when he does, but they are getting inside of these engagements, and Minotaur.
Nice set there, Sid is going to be taken down. This looks like a great fight for Rebels in Paradise. We do see that blazing duet coming out. Seth putting some damage onto in. God mode actually might be in trouble. This is almost a complete wipe. We have two more folks on the side of Novacore left here. Just one. Cloak, good enough for Cloak, was not involved in that fight, so did not die. But that might have been the only reason they didn't die. Maybe a little bit of a wrong move there by the side of Novacore with that engagement. Kind of pushed on the tower a little too quickly, taking a lot of tower damage, and unfortunately that was enough to give Rebels in Paradise the advantage.
You know, I would like to see, especially in that play that just passed by, maybe being a little bit more patient, waiting for that Lord to get a little bit more of a heavy presence for, you know, the other side, for Rebels in Paradise to have to worry about. They didn't even wait for the Lord to push, you know, the turret on his side. So they really were able to clash completely inside of the mid lane and forced Novacore back. So we do need to see them be a little bit more patient. That was a class that Rebels in Paradise was not afraid to fight. And, you know, it worked out in their favor. We do see it currently 9-11, 11 minutes in. And in terms of gold, the gold lead is very close with only a 2,000 difference, but leading in the favor of Novacore.
And they are able to pick up some more towers, is Rebels in Paradise. We do see that Pinnacle Ninja coming in on 3 members of the Novacore. I'm not really sure that's going to be much to be got out of that, but they were able to go ahead and pick up another tower. And yeah, you're exactly right about how they're handling this. They're just not patient enough. It's one of the biggest mistakes that you see teams make. We get the turtle. We do see Pinnacle Ninja coming out, and Claude is able to dash away. Good disengagement by the side of Novacore. Not really wanting too big of a fight until the rest of the team is kind of collected and ready for it. Oh,
I do got
a light kind of come out. Way of the Dragon does come down onto Gina God mode. He's going to come in with that penalty zone. It's not going to be enough to save him. Sid coming in onto Primley, and we see that falling star move coming down. Blazing duet, but he's taking a ton of damage. Down goes Seth, and the whole team is trying to disengage here. F taking a lot of damage. The rest of Rebels in Paradise are not going to be able to follow this up, unfortunately, but they do have the Lord coming up with a 5v3 in their favor.
Now, you do see Seth currently out for 20 seconds. Luminous Lord has spawned in. Looks like Rebel in Paradise is going to go ahead and focus that objective. Get potential zone on it as well to keep Noble Core away. Trying to take it out. You do see Teresa coming back in, but they do have a very solid zone. Hanzo able to go in as well. Will they be able to secure this Lord? Looks like they don't really have too much of an issue as Noble Core is too far out of position.
Yeah, sadly, I feel like that team, they're getting picked off, and I feel like Seth is having a real issue with these blazing duets. He's kind of just throwing himself right in between the entire team instead of kind of like, you know how you see most clots catch those angles right on the outside. I feel like Seth is kind of just throwing himself like right in the middle. We do see this Pinnacle Ninja coming in. It does pop up Ash. He does get a set, but this is on the Shadow, so not really much threat for the side of Rebels in Paradise as we do see this Luminous Lord here at the bottom. Seth does get a nice kick onto him. Is he going to be able to go down? He does get taken out. Oh no, he doesn't. He's able to escape that with a blazing duet, but we still have a Lord crashing down at bottom. Seth trying to disengage, Gina trying to provide some support. That Pinnacle Ninja does collect up onto Terizla. Seth gets taken down, and the Lord is still charging in here, and the rest of Nova Corps is doing their best to try to offset this as Rebels in Paradise are going to go ahead and collect up this mid tower. Ash is going to come on in here. They are not going to be able to protect it. We see that Pinnacle Ninja coming out again. This is where he started to take off into the late game, and we were just talking about that. And sadly, I mean, right now he's seeming unstoppable. Right now, because Nova Corps is not able to catch a break during these team fights. I feel like their angles are off with these engagements.
We got to give it to Daetrix right now. You know, we were wondering how the Hanzo play would work out. And right now, Daetrix is definitely prioritizing the right way. The way he was able to chase down Seth, focusing that marksman and making sure he was out for that clash, and then waiting for the whole team as that Luminous Lord did push up. They were able to get some inhibitor turrets out of that as well. So overall, I want to say that was a win-win trade over on the side of, Daetrix jungling over there. Rebels in Paradise. That was a very good play, but it was a little bit of a comeback. It wasn't looking in their favor to start, as we did see Nova Corps have that heavy presence, taking that first Lord. But just like you said, a lot of teams, you see them make that early mistake of just not being patient enough, waiting for that Lord to push in. But we do see a class coming in, following Sarmoon on.
Onto Gina. We do see that concealed play coming in. Gina is not going to be able to escape. A lot of damage coming out of Misery there, and unfortunately, it's going to be unanswered by the side of Rebels in Paradise. And a great job by Daetrix on this Hanzo, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but Hanzo being able to come in, tank a lot of abilities. He's forcing out abilities, forcing out disengagements because he is doing so much damage onto a lot of the squishy heroes, and it is forcing out these sets from Ash with this Minoan. So he doesn't have anything left when the actual team fight starts because Daetrix is able to use that Pinnacle Ninja to go in without fear of anything. Oh, we do see Ash does check into the Rog Bush. A lot of damage coming onto him, but that's Baby Light Wheel. Cayman comes in with the G-Kundo, but they are going to go ahead and disengage while this purple buff is up. Are they going to go ahead and try to collect it, or are they going to go ahead and try to get onto this Lord? It looks like they are on the Lord. Ash is in a little bit of trouble. Does get away with the dragon onto himself. Sid is there. Nice set by the Minotaur. We do see that blazing duet coming out in a little bit of trouble. Does get the whole team a little low. We are in trouble. Gina God mode is over here trying to clean up. Immortality has been triggered for Cayman. We do see Cloak go down. Daetrix takes down 2 himself, and it is still a 3-3 game here. But right now, Sid is not really doing enough damage on this Lord for me to recommend sticking with it, especially with Gina having a big amount of trouble. And we do see that Minotaur does go down, and Sid is able to pick up this Lord.
We gotta give it to Daetrix, 7-0-4. If we see a Hanzo in rank going forward from today's scrims, you are gonna know why. But I would have to give it to him. He's out jungling Sid right now with the Ballman, which is known as one of the top junglers, able to take those objectives without any issues, especially with that lethal counter, with that retribution as well. But we do see Luminous Lord pushing in on the top side. Looks like Rebels in Paradise just giving a little bit of pushback after that first initial fight with Lord over on Novacore's side. You know, we have seen Rebels in Paradise kind of come back with an answer, having the stronger presence in the second half of the game.
I do want to interrupt just for a special message real fast. We after this match, even if it goes 1-1, we'll probably end up having to stop the scrim just because it's going a little too long. And we're actually picking up, no one else right now can host it, so we're gonna be picking up the BTK versus First Blood, Team First Blood. So Weezy, I don't know if you'd be able to just break off, kind of. You can still be in here, just host it for us, and I'll still be streaming it, and we can still cast it. All you got to do is host XVA versus Night Horde, if that's cool.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
That way they can still get taken care of, and then we can still cast. BTK. Is that cool? What's that?
Yeah, do I?
No, I want to say you're ruthless. You're just gonna
Kinda, yeah. It was, dude, like they just literally hit me up in the DMs and it was like, "Yo, we need a lobby right now," and I was like, "Oh God."
Okay, so they're ready right now then.
The Night Horde and XVA, yes, but I don't know if you can get out of this.
That's what I was trying to see. Let me try and close out that.
You got a minute though, because chat's saying Zane is inside of it's about 15-30 minutes, they say.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see here. So we can still finish this up though.
Okay.
We do have a Blazing Duet coming out there. Sid in a little bit of trouble, is trying to disengage from that, as we do have the rest of Rebels in Paradise pressing their advance here right now. Gina and the Cloak sitting here in the back. Oh, check the rock push there. Brimley does get taken down. Falling Moonstar does come down on the Gina. Is it going to be enough, though? It doesn't look like it. They are going to be able to reverse this. We have 2 players down on the side of Rebels in Paradise, and it looks like they are on the reverse now. They are pressing their advantage here, too, now, as lanes are starting to sync up with 16 seconds left on this next Luminous Lord.
Now, we do know this Luminous Lord is crucial to both sides. This will be a pivotal marker for determining who the possible winner will be inside of this game. We do see Cho coming back in. We do have 20 seconds till Primley is back, but we see the full side of Novacore going for the Luminous Lord, having the zonage as well. Will Rebels in Paradise be able to have an answer and get into that zonage?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not able to get there right away. We do see a little bit of an engagement coming here. That Brilliance is activated. Misery in a little bit of trouble. They are trying to chase him down. A nice set by Minotaur in within tower range, but we do have that Blazing Duet. He does get caught. Seth is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. He is trying to put damage down. We do see Ash go down on the side because of Primley. Primley also takes down Sid, and just like that, we are pushing more into the Novacore right now. Gina is going to get taken down there. Unfortunately, there is not much that's going to happen here. This Brilliance is going to end right in front of Misery. We do have a little bit of suppression, but it's not going to be enough to save Cloak, and it's almost an entire team wipe, but Seth is left to tell the story.
You know, we do have Luminous Lord working in the favor of Novacore right now, as everybody is currently out except for Seth, but not being a problem for Rebels in Paradise, able to take it out, you know, with the swiftness, pushing up the mid lane as well. Seth possibly prepping for a Blazing Duet to kind of clear these minions and being able to escape. Looks like we do got a little bit of the clearage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Seth did not have those stacks on him. That was a Blazing Duet with 0 stacks, no movement speed, and not enough attack speed as well. Ash is left here trying to defend this by himself here. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to. We do have this bottom tower about to get taken down by Misery. This might be the last push for Rebels in Paradise. But no, it looks like they are going to go ahead and disengage here. Sadly, that is the second low-value Lord for the side of Novacore. It feels like as soon as they get Lord, they either spend too many lives trying to get it or get a little too eager when they have it.
Now, we do got to look at Daetrick. He's 8-0-7 right now. We understand why they banned Hanzo. We were looking at it kind of crazy going into the first match, but it all comes together now as he hasn't died at all inside of this game and has been having a heavy presence, especially on the side of Rebels in Paradise. But Cho, with the way of the dragon,
Yeah, he does come in there with that concealed play. Sid is doing his best, but all this damage, nobody is able to take out Brimley here on the back line. Misery is caught in a bad way here. Is taking a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough? Sid putting the damage onto him. Immortality has been activated. They do take him down. We do see that Pinnacle Ninja onto Gina as, oh no, Neodric, too long he spent in that Pinnacle Ninja, left his body open. This is what we were talking about, that map awareness of where he is. They charge forward now. They are zoning them out. Look how fast they are taking down this tower. Now we have minions. We are meeting at the core. Brimley doing his best with his sanguine claws, trying to be able to put the damage on. He does activate that immortality to Ash. Cloak still putting some damage on. It looks like he might be next here in doing his best to defend, but it's not going to be enough. The core goes down and the victory goes over to the Nova Core.
What a match. You know, we did see
Victory!
both sides have a heavy presence, good rotations, but Novacore able to close out. You know, we did see the Hanzo pick. It wasn't enough, though. As well as he did play with Hanzo, Novacore was able to take that win, but I got to give it to Daetrix. Definitely is a surprise to be able to see how well he was able to play.
Yeah, unfortunately, sadly enough, I do think that Misery not as effective on this carry as he wanted to be. There was, especially in that last fight, I did see Seth go in with that Blazing Duet and came in, was able to connect on him with that Cho, with the Way of the Dragon, even pop him into the tower for that Way of the Dragon. But the rest of Novacore basically closed ranks around him, like just basically all on top of Cho to stop him from being able to kill Seth and take the tower aggro away from him. And that allowed Seth to be able to get away, still get in some more shots and do more damage. And I feel like that was a big key here, was the offset by both of the marksmen here.
Yeah, it was definitely a good play on both sides. You know, I'm hoping I don't see Daetrix with Hanzo inside of rank now. I'm definitely gonna be looking out for that. I think we were all a little bit shocked about, you know, that's not a pick you often see, and definitely not a ban as well. But you know, good macro over by Novacore. There were a couple of times when they were a little too greedy, especially on those Lord plays. But overall, a very solid team and a very good closeout by them as well. Hey, G, what, do you know what server BTK's playing on? Oh, okay, you're doing it.
Do you want, so are you gonna do this with, do you want to do this with Rex, Aiko? G?
I thought he wanted me to host there. Who am I hosting?
Is he here? G?
He might have muted himself by accident.
Yeah, sorry about that. So Night Horde versus XVA. I can send you their deets here.
Are they gonna be able to stay if they lose a match?
That I hope so.
I
hope
okay, so,
so.
then do you want to cast this one with Rex then? Because I still want to get practice in with Wheezy before our match on Saturday. Then.
Yeah. I mean, we could definitely do that then if you want. If you want to.
Okay.
You gonna be able to do move the cam and
yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys want to break off and we can do that then, or.
Yeah, we can do that. Do you have another VC in here? We'll just drop to another VC.
You can get into that. I can put you in the caster desk if you want.
Yeah, that's cool.
Give me a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna have them message you. I wish you could like literally see people's IDs here, but that's Night Horde. Can you guys drop your IDs in the chat? I know you Night Horde. Both of you guys are in here, if you're not mistaken. Because I see.
Have Wheezy drop his.
Oh yeah.
ID
Here,
in there.
can you message me your ID, Wheezy, and I'll message it to him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I was gonna find it on there, but I couldn't even find it. And then after Night Horde and everything, and in about an hour, then it's Alter Ego versus Aether Explicit. If you guys still want more casting.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be here.
If I'm not done with this already. Because Sakura is on T-Rex's account right now, hosting, what are they hosting? They're currently hosting Apex versus some rando team. You followed Wheezy? They said they followed you. XVA did.
Oh,
It's
oh, he
X
did
with,
follow
like,
me. Okay,
yeah, X
I,
with three
he sent
question
me a
marks.
message. Yeah, he
Alright.
sent me a message.
Sweet. Is Rex available? Because I'm gonna be casting with Rex, so it'd be cool to get the. Yo, let me message.
Hey, shoot. Actually,
What's up?
no. Well, I'm gonna need private. Private, can you DM me your ID? Oh, he stepped away.
DM. You can just search his name. It's the same as his Discord. It's just
Oh,
capital
okay.
P R I V 8, capital D A N C
Okay.
E R.
Yes, do see their team.
Big D.
Does look like T-Rex is says it's too late for the old boy. Being 9:49 where he's at. Nah, I'm joking.
Got that elderly time. Bro, then the sun's gone down. What do you think I am?
Okay, I did follow him back. Let me see if I can pull.
I don't think we have any other casters that would be available. Oh my god. He's
Where the fuck is combat?
Bruh.
You can shoot a message in scrims and ask. Or NACT casters 2022. Just ask. Oh, you did.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
South, want some practice?
I got
Who's that?
Fortnite
Who'd you
too.
say?
Nice Al? He wants some practice?
I was wondering. I mean, I don't know if he's online. I could message him.
Nah, he's probably good.
It'd probably be too much. No, he's offline. He's offline. That's all right. Let me see if I can get.
IG, let me send you my ID though, because I don't have. I had some of Nighthorn added, but I don't.
I can. It's Tyrant. You can invite Tyrant.
I didn't see him online. Maybe let me check again. I just sent you my ID just in case though.
All right.
83452.
All right, chat. If you guys are on the YouTube,
Oh, they're in here. They're in here. I'm good.
and you're trying to get Wheezy, that's where you want to go. And then, like I said, the next one is Alter Ego, which is I'm gonna have them add you.
Okay. Let me set my screen up too.
I gotta see if Afnan's on. Afnan's on. Jesus Christ, that was loud.
Sorry.
Oh my god. Gonna buy.
See.
Oh, damn. Fuck, Bobby.
Alright, we'll get Mobazane in here. Looks like we got all of my play-by-plays are gonna be busy.
Who are you casting with?
Oh,
know?
only T-Rex. At least in the two games, at least that I know about.
Wake up.
What's that?
Wake up. Like, he ain't special. He got a kid. There's thousands of kids out there.
he says he got work at like 8 in the morning. I got work at 8 in the morning, but I got work. I got to be up at 7 in the morning. But your boy's gonna be hosting this, and possibly hosting the Alter Ego if they're. I want to see if they're doing best of. If they're doing best of 7.
Kid and angry wife.
Hey Weezy, I have a question.
Who's that sexy voice? Uh-oh.
Hey there.
Hi.
No way.
Welcome to the pain zone.
You did not just say that, Aiko. I could cry. I could cry, honestly. I could cry. Where's Weezy?
They Coil's alter ego. If I can't make it to alter ego versus AE, which it's just Boko Roscoe. I always whop that name. I don't know why. It's just I'm
Bosco?
American.
Is he-
Yeah, I don't know
I'm try-
why
I'm
I
trying
say
to
it
get
like
the,
that. I don't know why I say it like it just comes out my mouth like that.
Damn, let's see if you have his match too, because that where are you? Oh, nope.
I got it. Let me add private real quick. Or private, are you in game right now? I'll just read my ID off to you.
Oh. Sure.
Okay, it's 834
8,
521
4, 521.
387.
Oh, I think Mobazane just got out of this game.
I don't know why I'm trying to share the video feed, but I think it's
Also, where are you guys streaming the game from? Weezy.
I don't know. Are you gonna do the BTK stream on yours, or are you gonna do your guys' stream like your casting? Whatever you want to do.
Oh well, I'm trying to get casting in with casting practice in with.
Well, I
Wheezy
meant like
'cause we got,
Wheezy, if you wanted to kind of keep streaming the BTK, or if you wanted to.
I'm gonna be truthful. Right now, I would love to do BTK, but I know they're gonna do a 5 of 7, and I'm gonna let you know.
I asked them. I haven't heard anything back.
you asked where I'm streaming it, so I'm streaming on my Facebook page right now.
No,
If that answers your question.
Well, that are you going to be streaming the BTK versus Team First Blood, or do you want to
I thought you were streaming
stream?
that one.
I am. I wasn't sure. I think that's what Tyrant was trying to see, like if he could watch the stream.
Oh, you're trying to find out.
Like if he can watch the one versus XVA versus Night Horde.
Oh,
Which one
I
are you
mean,
trying to
Tyrant's in this game.
Yeah. I mean, you can keep him in there if you want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had everybody in the lot. It's up to whatever you want to do. I'm down for whatever. Whatever's easier for you, G. I got currently right now. I have everybody in the lobby readied up with private in here.
All right.
Oh.
Mobas. I thought, who's this person up in the top? I wish I could see names. It literally has the same.
Yo, who's in the top of ours too? Yeah, let's take that ref out of there.
Hey, chat on every side. I'm gonna reset the stream so I can have a correct title for the BTK games. That way, just kind of draws a little bit more attention and stuff like that. Helps us out and all of that. So give me like 2 seconds while we get this ready, and I'll be right back.